Interesting story. Blaze covers it, and I want to talk about some of the talking points in it. You know, this whole Florida thing and this what they're calling it the "Don't Say Gay" bill, and it looks like Disney workers, because I know that there was like a community, or the LGBT community was like, or members that were supporters of it, what they call allies. The allies are saying that you have to do something. You funded Disney, certain politicians, or you won't condemn it. So that's a problem. The authoritarian left, of course, thinks that they own every sector of entertainment, so they expect you to act accordingly. This is why I say they play to win, man. This is stuff that other people don't really be paying attention to, but the left pays attention to that shit. But the former and current Disney employees supportive of the LGBTQ plus movement expressed outrage this week as their progressive employers silence regarding a Florida bill that seeks to guide age-appropriate discussions of sexual orientation and gender identity in schools. If this bill was in place when I was growing up, I probably would not be here. And this is what a former cast member at Walt Disney told BuzzFeed News. That's a claim, bro. That's a fucking claim. We're in clubbing this from the Blaze. That's a claim. I probably would not be here. Another employee told the outlet that Disney's championing of diversity and inclusion feels like virtue signaling when you're not willing to take a stance. Oh, boy, what, you just not finding out about that? It was always virtue signaling, you crackhead motherfucker. And this is why Disney, if they get brought down by this community, they get what the fuck they deserve. Don't get in the way. I have no desire to defend Disney. You get what you fucking deserve. You wanted to cater to this demographic of people, and now you're stuck like Chuck. You're stuck like Chuck. The magic has died for me, lamented another former cast member, the little queer kid. All right, no, there's no such thing as those. Queer kid being beaten for being queer is crying and alone again. No. They and for those of you that have read the bill, you know this. Come on, man. Like, that's such a grasp for a straw. But when I hear the term little queer kid, that's fucked up. Look, man, I'm just going to give it to you for real, bro, when in regards to this subject matter. It's some sort of influence that is happening in the event that your child, a kid, like a literal kid, I ain't talking about some like, young, older teen or an adult. I'm talking about a kid. This is why people are akin to grooming. Ain't no fucking such thing. And that ain't no, well, you're denying our existence. Nah. I'm just saying that, we've seen stories, read stories like this. We've covered stories like this where this shit is coming directly from the people that are like, be their parents. We talked about that story. Hell, this happened out of the UNT shit where, you got the like a 3-year-old that the mom's trying to have like be put on these hormones and shit to try to transit. Like, come on, bro. That's the parents. That's the irresponsible parents there. Or, in some cases, teachers and all of that. Now, in this case, at least this bill is more so referring to like, parents being the ones having this conversation and making those deals. But even no matter who, parent or not, as far as the influence, that influence is coming somewhere because kids are blank slates like that and they don't come out fucking thinking that on that sexuality shit right out the gate. Even the grandniece of Walt Disney, Abigail Disney, got in on the action, said the times for neutrality are long since over. That train has left the goddamn station. What is Disney for? Is it for pretending what America is about, or is it about defining a vision for a world in which fantasy, love, kindness, decency, and loyalty are bedrock values? Basically, it means, hey, why don't you agree with us? You should agree with us. That's essentially what this shit means. Continuing on, The parental, they talk about the background, inaccurately dubbed the Don't Say Gay bill by opponents. It's called the Parental Rights in Education Bill. The legislation specifically riles up LGBTQ activists by prohibiting classroom instruction on sexuality, orientation, or gender identity in kindergarten through third grade in a manner that is not age appropriate or developmentally appropriate for students in higher grade levels. The Republican sponsored bill, I don't know if y'all had like a hiccup there, my bad, but the Republican sponsored bill seeks to protect students and their parents from pressurized classroom instruction or indoctrination on the matters of sexuality, orientation, and gender identity. But the LGBTQ activists claim that legislation will only isolate vulnerable students and strip them of the support systems at their schools. So, you know, the big thing about this and why this even became a thing was because, you know, they're looking at it like, well, there's certain things that need to be revealed or taught by the classroom, which in this case it was sexuality and stuff. And that's really in any, no matter what way you swing, you think that that conversation is more so responsible. The parents are more so responsible for it. But this was in a memo on staff Monday. Chapek recalled a meeting on Friday with a small group of Disney LGBTQ leaders. And they wanted to voice their disappointment at the company's lack of public statement. Because, again, they're out of Florida. You should be doing something. And this just goes to show the game plan of these types of groups. So when I say that these groups are they are being used basically as to pump out shit or to do something on behalf of members of the authoritarian left, this is yet another example fucking of that. Now, I don't think every member of the LGBTQ is in support of fucking this shit at all, as far as, you know, allowing teachers or wanting teachers to teach this shit. I don't think that consists of every member, but the members of the authoritarian left, as they're generally Democrats, and what it is they want to use entertainment as it's the extension of them. It's an extension of them. Instead, he explained, he said corporate statements do very little to change outcomes of minds. Instead, are often weaponized by one side to further divide and inflame. Simply put, this is what the CEO, Chapek, said. They can be counterproductive and undermine more effective ways to achieve change. He says he firmly believes in the stories and have received an open. We covered that part, that whole segment. He said, and that would be diminished if our company were to become political football in any debate. Well, your company's already been a political football in this debate, Chapek. I'm not saying that you were maybe co-signing that, but you know, your company being used as a political football has long happened before today or this particular issue. I think what's happened now is that you're seeing a change in the tide, right? Of the, you know, people that become more vocal about where their positions are. They're not necessarily into a lot of this dumb shit. And instead of just going with the flow, people are becoming more mindful. You see what's happening in the schools. They're becoming more mindful of this. So the pendulum starts to swing back. And I think Chapek, it's less about him giving a fuck about not being a political football. Disney's done that. They've had no problem taking those positions, definitely doing the sum of love. And their members, people that work for them, taking public positions on these deals. They had no problem doing that shit. However, now I think they're stuck between a rock and a hard spot. Because, yeah, they may have catered to that demographic of people, but not just with the politicians, there's other constituents. And you remember the old saying, Michael Jordan had Republicans buy sneakers too. Republicans buy sneakers too. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens out of this. But no matter what happens out of this, Disney gets what the fuck it deserves, as far as I'm concerned. There's more, so wait. Disney CEO company opposes the Don't Say Gay bill, so he has now come out and said he's opposed it. He's been kind of avoiding the issue, but now he is saying that he will meet with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and he's going to donate. This is always the answer. Okay, hey, I'm going to donate money to some organization that's going to piss it away anyway. He said that the original approach didn't get the job done. So basically what's happening is they're gonna try to appease the mob by giving them money. And then I don't know if this is just gonna be for optics here. I don't know if it's just gonna be for optics. It probably will be just for optics. And yeah, that's where we're at. He said, I know that many are upset that we did not speak out against the bill. We were opposed to the bill from the outset, but we chose not to take a public position on it because we thought that it would be more effective working behind the scenes, engaging directly with the lawmakers, which is what y'all do anyway. So they got pimped by that group of people to do that. And we'll see if it's going to be enough. First of all, we'll see if this is going to do a goddamn thing, because it may just be optics. It may be one of those things where he's like, yeah, I'm going to meet with DeSantis, and DeSantis probably is going to tell me to go fuck myself, and then we're just going to continue to operate in Florida. What are you going to relocate to California? Is that what you're going to do? No. You're going to lose all that business in Florida? No, you don't want to lose business. Maybe Florida doesn't want to use business either, but I know y'all don't. Definitely considering how much money y'all make on these theme parks and shit. This is going to be hilarious to see this unfold. But hey, all this does is reassure exactly what I was saying, and that is, look, man, these companies are an extension. Why do y'all want to continue to keep supporting these guys? These companies are an extension of the social justice authoritarian left, and they'll try to appease that mob, but they think they don't. Basically, what Chapek essentially is saying, fuck y'all that support it. That's not good enough. We're taking the side of the other guys, at least publicly. Again, optics is another thing, but we'll see what happens.
You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.